just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you here in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come on with a dank, scrolling in a tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up and welcome
Hello.
to Redweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by guy Spivak.
Hello.
Young Chris is gone, actually. We got his dad in the booth today.
Yeah, young Pete.
Shout out to young
Dad
Pete.
in the booth.
Uncle Skeet in the building.
Uncle Skeet.
We got De Toi Mario.
Let's go, baby.
And we also got a pair of special guests joining us.
Show.
Beth will be on the plane. We have Cody Benjamin, who's been a longtime rival of this program.
Yes, he has.
At least myself personally. We've since hashed things out. All right, but I have a suspicious feeling that you Lions fans still have your beef with him. He came out with his quarterback rankings, had Jared Goff number 12. If you hadn't noticed, he writes for CBS, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Once upon a time, he did rank Dan Campbell 32nd or 31st head coach in the league. Just some stuff like that. But obviously, Detroit Lions turn around, so I'm sure Cody's turning around. We'll have those discussions with him. And then we'll also be joined by football guy Al. All right, our favorite residential nerd will be joining the building. On top of multiple statements and clips from the Detroit Lions pressers today. Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, Jameson Williams. Some big thing about Jameson Williams.
Some big things about Jameson.
Big thing about Jameson Williams. I want to say before I ask your segment, though, if you want to bullshit around a little bit, Lamar stuff, I know that happened a little bit earlier on the week, but you see he dropped that 15, 20 pounds?
I did not.
So he dropped 15, 20 pounds. And then I was one of the people scratching my head. Just a lot of people were scratching their heads like, why would you want more weight, right? But I guess to be more agile. So
take less hits.
I guess.
I think he was a good weight as he was. I don't think you want him to lose any pounds so he's not, taking these big hits. I think that's something that I don't know. We'll see.
If anything, probably maybe a little bit more weight.
Put on a little bit more weight would probably be good for him. Listen, let's do what you got to do, Lamar. As long as you can stay healthy, I'm sure Ravens fans will be happy.
That's very true. Nick, anything on Lamar before we move on?
I mean, packed AFC, no doubt. Do you guys ever see him getting a ring? I mean, obviously that's his thing. He can't win the big one right now. Do you guys ever see him being able to do it? I know it's hot take season right now.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a hot take. I mean, how many playoffs wins did he have before last year? Just one?
One, I think, if even that.
I'm going to look it up right now. Yeah, I don't think many. I mean, he is perplexing.
Perplexing Pegasus.
Yeah, just because he is good. They do really, really well in regular season against all tiers of teams. Obviously, they mopped the floor with us, with all due respect. They mopped the floor with the 49ers. They literally had gotten Brock Purdy benched in that game. They were like, Purdy, like, no mas, brother. No mas. Like, you look bad. All right, and you're embarrassing us. Like, it's really weird, man. I really don't know. There's the other thing, too, because didn't they only run the ball like 2 times in the second half of that game? The AFC Championship, I'm pretty sure I remember hearing. Like, is that... Like,
it does not make sense.
I can't blame Lamar for that.
No.
But actually, I did the other day. I think it's Eduardo O'Neill, because Eduardo, shout out. I do appreciate the support. He's always got something to say. And he commented on that and was like, he needs to focus on passing and stuff like that, which I hate when people say that about Lamar, because he is good at passing. I hate when people take his passing stats and then compare it to a passing quarterback, because you know damn well Lamar is doing more than just standing in the pocket and passing.
Yes.
Like, those numbers aren't going to equate.
Yeah, whenever people put up Lamar's passing yards and Josh Allen's passing yards and equate those to pocket passers, it's like, okay, but add the, 700, 800 rushing yards on top. Like Josh Allen had 15 rushing touchdowns last year. Like you got to factor that in as well. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if Lamar is ever going to win a championship. That is the gripe with him, is that he's never been able to get it done in the playoffs. He always chokes in the playoffs. I like Lamar. I think he's a great player. We'll see. Obviously, I hope he doesn't win a Super Bowl, because I hope the Lions are winning Super Bowls. But we'll see. Pete, how you feeling about that?
Feeling pretty good about that.
We better break out the song there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have.
You think
about this.
you think Lamar will ever win a Super Bowl?
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Especially with Derrick Henry in the backfield now. You
Yeah,
better believe that. That's the
definitely
key.
different.
That's what he was missing was no more Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
No more Justice Hill. I mean, this is like Derrick Henry time that's going to put Lamar Jackson over the top, baby. Plus, you got John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Solid coach.
That's
Keaton
exactly.
Mitchell, too, when he gets back. I mean, that's a little nice change of pace there as well. Go ahead, Nick. I apologize.
Such a dynamic quarterback with a coach that's John Harbaugh. I think there's no excuse not to get it done. I think he wins one at least in his run.
Not next year.
The thing, too, that's why
All Lions, baby.
That's why I say with like context, because context like always matters. You could throw the Lamar Jackson playoff choke stat out there, but then like he threw a touchdown that Zay Flowers literally fumbled at the 1 yard line. Do you guys remember that happened?
Like the quarter yard line.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
But people will throw in your face. Oh, he can't get it done. Oh, he doesn't pass like that. The receiver fumbled that one. Although I do think he had an interception in that one too, though.
That
in the
yeah,
second half.
Yeah.
that is the way of the quarterback position. They get all the hype or all of the praise and all of the blame. So whether it's justified or not, it's what happens when you play quarterback. You're the face of the franchise, and you're going to take the brunt of the scrutiny as well.
Yeah, I mean we're getting paid all that damn money. It's worth it. At least it just comes with the check. I don't think people should be planning. All right, enough about the AFC Championship. Did you see Marvin Harrison signed a fully guaranteed deal?
No.
It was like $35 million. I could correct myself on that one. But yeah, signed a fully guaranteed. This guy, I'm very curious to see what he's going to be in the league, just because all the I guess unorthodox ways he goes about things, like didn't participate in the pro day, didn't participate in the combine. Obviously gets taken third, fourth overall.
Fifth.
Was it fifth?
Yeah.
I thought he went to Arizona.
He did. Yeah, you're right. So
Either way,
top five.
but then. Yeah, but now he's signed a fully guaranteed deal after. I mean, is he going to be this?
I think
special?
he's gonna be a dog. I think he is gonna be a very, very talented player. Obviously, that offense that they got down in Arizona looked pretty good last year. Like when they started having some things click, and you add a guy of the talent of the skill set of Marvin Harrison to that offense where they didn't have a true number one wide receiver. I think it's gonna be good for him. Say what you want about Kyler Murray, and I'm not a Kyler Murray fan. I think he looks like, when he's running around there, he looks like a toddler running around with something that they shouldn't have got into. Like when B gets into something he shouldn't have got into, and you got to chase him around. That's what Kyler looks like when he's running
You are
around.
absolutely correct.
But he's a good quarterback, and he definitely is good at hitting his wide receiver one. Like him and DeAndre Hopkins had a lot of success together. So I expect that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to do well, even in his first year.
Here we go, guys.
35 points.
There you go.
Yeah, wow. 22.5 of that 35 million guaranteed. Well, I'm sorry, not guaranteed. It's all guaranteed.
Fully guaranteed.
I'm sorry,
It's
as a signing bonus.
Signing
Yeah,
bonus
signing
is
means
20.
cash money.
That's crazy.
That's. I don't know him personally. That's the thing is with him, 'cause everyone's over like analyzed throughout like the draft season. Him, not so much, just because he really didn't partake in anything.
I mean,
I do get to hear the character stuff about him. I don't get that he must be high character to have.
yeah. I watch
what I'm
I
saying?
watch a lot of Big Ten football, and like seeing his interviews and hearing the way he speaks. Obviously, I don't know him on a personal level or anything like that, but listening to him at the podium, listening to him post game, he's a very well mannered guy. He comes from great genes, with his father being one of the best wide receivers
That was
ever.
great.
Hall of Fame.
So
Great kisser.
he's a great kisser.
it,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bad.
He's definitely, he's a little quick reaching for second base, but you let it happen. He's a great.
Call that aura, boys. Call that aura.
He's a great talent. He makes a lot of things happen, and like I said, he's been around NFL football his whole life. He's been in and out of locker rooms his whole life, so
Yeah.
he's going to know how to go about his business, know how to handle himself. This isn't new to him. So that crash course of welcome to the NFL rookie, like that's not going to be the same for him. He already knows what it's like to be around NFL players, to be in an NFL locker room and stuff like that. So
To be honest, that word aura is kind of just thrown around. It's become the new version of dog.
yeah,
He's got it. He's got, and I'm not talking dog. They're two different things. But the aura, I mean, to not participate in those things, still be taken fourth overall as a wide receiver, and then get the fully guaranteed contract, $22.5 million in signing bonus. That's aura, right? I mean, you didn't even have to do the show and pony down. You didn't have to do none of that shit, and you're getting treated like a I don't want to say God, but kind of. I mean, we don't see this with rookies who do that. I can't think of anyone's ever done that. You've been watching this game longer than me. Has anyone ever a draft process like that?
No.
It's crazy.
No.
Yeah. Cousin Keys in the Woodward Sports Chat says, LOL at Love threatening to hold out the season if the Pack don't give him a monster deal after one season, which he sucked half of the time. The second half of that was a little aggressive, but yeah, Jordan Love is threatening to hold out. I don't fucking blame him.
Is that real? Are you serious?
I do not blame him at all.
Is that a real thing?
Yes.
No way.
I do not blame him.
Brad.
I don't blame him at all. I wouldn't go out there and play either. Like, what do you mean? He's not gonna go pay me in my deal. I'm not gonna go out there and play for $12 million when he hasn't got paid yet. Like if this was a guy who already had a contract, already had his stuff, I'm not going out there and playing either for $12 million a year.
So this is from NBC Sports and ESPN. He is at OTAs despite unsettled contract. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, if he was holding out of OTAs, I mean, that's when you put the pressure on. But fellas, on a different note, I know we're not going to talk about it today at all because we have a packed football show for you guys. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Tigers 5-game homestand, 3 games under 500.
You just got killed and mood every time, huh?
Can they do anything here, fellas?
No,
5-game
fuck the Tigers,
homestand.
dude. Tigers suck.
They don't. Here's the thing, Nick, and this is not attack on you. And I'm just putting it like plainly, flatly for everybody. Tigers don't do numbers,
Right.
but like we're in the
Oh
business.
yeah, that's why.
No, I know.
I prefaced it real quick.
No, you're good. You're good. Stop doing it. No, I'm playing.
Did you hear the news?
But I saw AJ.
Did you hear the news?
Got snippy with a reporter.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're
AJ.
referring to?
And no, Alex Lang got sent to AAA because him and AJ got into a little tiff.
Yeah, AJ's firing.
You should have started with that.
AJ's saying some stuff. Honestly, it's horrible. Alex Langan down to AAA. Matt Chapman just hit another home run. Spenmo 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you calling me out every time with the slow start. Just had to give you some a little bit.
Yeah, you know who's got a better
right
OPS than Matt Chapman in May?
What? Who is that?
Cole Keith.
He's a second baseman. Matt Chapman would be second on this team in home runs.
That's the bet we got. So you're cool with Cole Keith at
He'd be first in
bat.
RBIs. He'd be first in hits.
Get him.
On this team with multiple gold gloves to back it. It's a disgrace that we didn't get any bats for this team.
Why are you yelling at me?
besides Mark
Yell at
Canha.
your boy Chris.
Because you give me shit every time when I say anything about Chapman. So when
Yell
he's
at your boy
doing well,
Chris.
when he's doing well, I was giving you some back. That's how she goes.
That is how she goes.
Spenny, I was just about to say there's only one person whose fault this is.
Yeah, it's
Good old
Chris
Chris. Yep.
Yeah, little Chris. Because he won't fucking spend. And that's why I'm over the Tigers. It's the same. The Tigers right now are in Pistons territory with me. I don't care anymore. If your owner doesn't care, I don't care. Why should I care about your team? Your owner has proven he doesn't care. So why should I give a shit about him?
3 games under right now. If they go 4-1 back to 500, do anything for any of you guys?
No.
Can I ask this though? Like,
What are they, 9.5 back in the division?
9.
Yeah, the division's fucking.
Yeah, I
fire.
don't. Being
The
500
Royals
doesn't
are off
matter.
to like an all-time start. Or something
They're definitely gonna go down, like reach the mean a little bit. The Royals will throughout the tough season, but yeah, they're off to an extremely hot start.
I guess,
and it's tough, man. This is what happens. You went out and got Mark Canha, you went out and got Gio Urshela. You thought that was gonna be enough. It's not, because your guys that you were basing on being the meat of your order. Riley Green is not playing well. Spencer Torkelson is not playing well. Colt Keith has been playing well the past 2 weeks.
4-game hitting streak.
Yeah, but for the entire season, he has not been playing well. Those are the guys that you expected to be the meat of your order, and they're not living up to expectations.
One last thing before we go to break, and maybe we'll finish this Tigers talk for the end of the show. But
Packed football show.
You always give Nick the shit for Matt Chapman because he wasn't really doing that well. Now he's fire. Baseball does not work that way. Like are we? I get freaking out because the Tigers hitting has been asked for the past 2 seasons for sure. But at some point, I mean, we've seen him wake up there for a little. I mean, is there some hope in some of you?
Colt Keith for sure, but besides that, not really right now. I mean, we did not make the moves. We don't have the horses in the race right now to get the job done.
Yeah, right now on the season, Matt Chapman's hitting 249 with his 753 OPS and 8 home runs. So he'd be the best hitter on the Tigers lineup right now.
Well, we have a guest waiting for us. So I want to go to break. When we get back, let's link up with the guy Cody Benjamin from CBS.
Let's go.
He just dropped his NFC North article. He did his quarterback rankings. If you guys remember, Jared Goff not in the top 10.
Dun dun dun. Let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you're at, there's Planet Fitness close by. More than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Isn't that?
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Right, head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now. Get yourself some of the latest Detroit sports merch, including the 775,000 NFL Detroit Draft Day t-shirt. Also, you can get the new quarter golf pullover. It is golf season, so you might as well get a golf pullover. Head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and load on up back to the heavies.
Transitioning from golf to golf, we are joined by CBS's very own Cody Benjamin. It's been a long time waiting, man. I appreciate taking the time. How you been since your quarterback rings? I'm sure you've had a parade of attacks coming at you from all over the NFL.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. First of all, I mean, I was listening to your previous segment. You know, I'm hoping I'm not going to get the wrath that, you know, some of these teams are getting from you guys. No, I think that the initial wave on these is always, it can always be very hostile. I mean, it's hard to please everyone when you're doing a 1 through 32 ranking of quarterbacks. And to be honest, the best way to look at these is always in tiers. You know, unfortunately, you don't get that nuance when it's a 1 through 32 ranking, but you know, you're trying to see who is your quarterback, your favorite team's quarterback grouped with, you know, and it kind of, I think, speaks to where they stand in the NFL today. And so I'm sure we'll get into Jared Goff. I think that, you know, before we talk about his ranking, I think that the fact that he is even that we can even debate that he belongs in the top 10, I think it speaks volumes about where he's come, where the Lions have come. Certainly they've turned that program around.
Yeah, I guess so we can get on like somewhat some even footing to just understand like how he would get there. Because I honestly don't hate it, to be honest with you. I'm one of the people kind of in your corner with this one. But what is the criteria when you're breaking down these rankings for the quarterbacks?
Yeah, it's complicated because I know that, you know, sometimes what people are looking for in power rankings is essentially a carbon copy of you know, the passer ratings leaderboard, you know, each week. And obviously right now we're in the off season, we're not in season. It's hard. I try to separate the quarterback from the supporting cast, but at the same time you can't fully do that because, you know, Brock Purdy's a good example, and he certainly was one of the most divisive selections, you know, putting him up top near, you know, behind only Patrick Mahomes, because it's very easy to say the 49ers would rather have Josh Allen. Well, of course, we'd all love Josh Allen's skills. You know, I would in a heartbeat if I'm starting a team. I like Josh Allen's size. I like his arm. I like all those things better than Brock Purdy. At the same time, what has Brock Purdy done with the supporting cast that he has? He's gone to 2 NFC Championship games. He's put up a valiant effort in the Super Bowl, and so it's kind of trying to take what these quarterbacks have at their disposal and then doing the best to separate them from that. I mean, in Jared Goff's case, I had him just outside the top 10, but really it's trying to, I guess, it's an impossible formula of trying to say which quarterback would you take right now. Incorporating what they've done with their supporting cast, but also trying to remove them from that, if that makes sense. It's a very, I mean, in the NFL, we all talk about, you know, quarterbacks get the most press, whether it's the team is winning or losing, but it's very hard to completely untangle them from the weapons and the protection that they either have or don't have.
And that was the thing that stuck out to me, the first part, because we are probably the least, I would say, Homer, the least we call them Golf Gawker show on the network, but we talk about you talk about the grouping, and when we talk about Jared Goff, we do lump him in with guys like Brock Purdy and like Tua Tagovailoa, who have the amazing cast around them, and we know the Cam Newton stuff about game changer versus game manager, and that's where I had it was if Brock Purdy is so high, I don't understand how Jared Goff would be outside of the top 10, because I see them as a similar breed of quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think the gap is too far off, and or even our own CBS Sports, they have podcasts and I mean, I was getting ripped from people inside CBS who actually thought that Brock Purdy fits better as maybe the 7th or 8th quarterback, and I can see that argument. To be honest, I think that there's Patrick Mahomes, and then there's probably 8 to 10 guys who you plug them in on each other's teams, and they're probably faring comparably. I think that the one difference I would say between Jared Goff and Brock Purdy, that I would give, I guess, in Brock Purdy's favor, credit to Jared Goff, because frankly, he's done better than I think everyone expected in Detroit, including myself. I mean, I completely thought he was a throw-in, piece of that trade for Matthew Stafford. He has proven more gutsy, more resilient than I ever thought he would. I think he's toughened up since he played for the Rams. And yet with Brock Purdy, I guess what I see is a little bit more off-script pizzazz, if that makes sense. So, Brock Purdy gets kind of typecast as, well, he's just a figurehead for Kyle Shanahan's offense, the same way that Jimmy Garoppolo was, the same way that Trey Lance was supposed to be. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo was ever as efficient, as mobile, as durable as Brock Purdy has been in San Francisco. And so, again, if you put Brock Purdy in Detroit, is he giving you that much more than what Jared Goff is giving you? Maybe not. I guess I just like that he's also, he's younger. Theoretically, there's more upside. And I see a bit more of off-script gunslinging where he can kind of roll outside the pocket, extend plays a little bit more with his legs.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's the one thing I think that sets them apart is the mobility. And we saw that in the NFC Championship game. Purdy had 50 rushing yards in the second half. That kind of
that's a difference.
Put them to bed. But also when we talk about the groupings of the quarterback, me and Eazy have that like 8 to 13 range of the quarterback rankings. Every time we break it down, it's always the Jared Goffs, the Kirk Cousinses, the Dak Prescotts, the guys like that. And I feel like every year you can put any of those guys in any ranking, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense for the most part.
Yeah, I think that's frankly, that's how it is, and that's the reality in the NFL. I think that you have very few guys who put them on any team. Carolina, Arizona, maybe if you put Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen on those teams, Lamar Jackson, they're probably doing enough to keep those teams mildly competitive. But yeah, there's such a huge middle ground here in terms of those other quarterbacks. And like you said, I mean, that grouping there, Kirk Cousins, I mean, again, so much of it comes down to who's at their disposal. And fortunately for the Lions, I think, and it's not taking away from Jared Goff, he is well positioned to succeed. And I mean, I know my colleagues have been putting the Lions in some favorable spots. And, we just today came out with another story kind of sorting all 32 teams in terms of who's more offensively geared, who's defensively geared, who's the total package. We had the Lions offensively geared, but if their secondary reinforcements click, it's hard not to say that the Lions are one of the, 4 or 5 most balanced, most talented teams across the board. And that's crazy because 5-10 years ago saying that about the Lions, no one would have, believed you saying.
Yeah, man. And I do want to get to the Lions, more specifically Dan Campbell, but just real quick, one more quarterback question, and that is a former Lion. Matthew Stafford does kind of have the off-platform stuff. He does kind of make plays outside the structure of the design. He's at 16 as a Super Bowl champion, a guy who kind of led his team to the playoffs last year, a very young team. What was up with that fall?
Yeah, that's one where I think if I redid it, I'd probably bump him up a few spots. I think the concern I have with Matthew Stafford, he came back to form last year, and I think the young supporting cast, it kind of complemented him well. I worry a bit because early last year, he was taking a beating, and his accuracy was a little bit more iffy. We know Matthew Stafford, he's always had the big arm, Sometimes he leans on that arm a little bit more than maybe his decision making. And I think, just remembering that we noted this in those rankings too. He's 36. He has an extensive injury history. And sometimes he forces those passes. Now, good Stafford is good Stafford. And he is right in that Goff territory, that borderline, that top 10 quarterback. I guess there's some red flags that I'm not quite sure that we're gonna see that late 2023 Rams carry over all the way into this year.
Now, Cody, when I first discovered your articles, by the way, and you pump them out like crazy, phenomenal. Make sure you guys check out my guy Cody on CBS. But one of the ones I first discovered you with, I wasn't too happy about, was you had initial head coaching rankings, and at that point you had Kevin O'Connell over Dan Campbell, and I'm just wondering, looking back at it, you still feel that way, or you credit Ben Johnson more than Campbell himself, or I guess how's that transpired for you, for Dan Campbell?
Well, I know exactly the article you're talking about, and I think the beauty of these rankings is, for example, if you're infuriated by Jared Goff being 13, I try to let these rankings speak to reality, so that if Jared Goff makes me look like an idiot 3 months from now, that the rankings will reflect that, that he will move up, so that it tells the story of their rise and fall. At the time I ranked Dan Campbell, I don't think he was dead last. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was down there.
Yeah, it was bottom 5.
Yeah, and so now he's I guess I'd have to comb through them all to tell you where he'd rank. I mean, I enjoy Kevin O'Connell's what he's assembled in Minnesota, but in terms of Ben Johnson, I mean, Dan Campbell is responsible for hiring Ben Johnson. He's responsible for overseeing what he's doing, for making those tough calls that everyone gets on them for being aggressive. So no, I think he has risen tremendously. And like I said, I think it speaks so much to what Brad Holmes, what the entire regime has done, just the position that they're in. And again, some of these moves along the way, I have not been sold at the time of them being made. The Jared Goff move, not believing necessarily that he was anything more than a stopgap. Even some of the draft capital, the Jahmyr Gibbs pick, almost everything has turned out to be the right decision, actually. And they kind of went down swinging in that aggressive fashion. Everyone harped on because of those 4th down calls in the NFC Championship. But no, I'm in on Dan Campbell. So, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on the show with you now. I mean, I think that he has that locker room's belief, and not only that, but they've got the personnel to actually be competitive.
Yeah, you better say it.
Speaking of decisions that they've made and the moves that this regime has made, the biggest noise over the past couple months was all the money that they were handing out right before the draft, and then right a couple weeks ago, you had Jared Goff as your 13th ranked quarterback in the NFL. They paid him like a top 3 guy in that, giving him an insane deal with a ton of guaranteed money. What was your initial reaction to that contract, and do you think that was a good move for the Lions?
I mean, to be honest, every quarterback contract is huge now, and so it's really just like a shrug of the shoulders on my end, because I think it's just par for the course. It's what the market is, and certainly I would feel more comfortable giving Jared Goff that money now than even a year ago. I think that he showed a lot in terms of just resilience, and again, he's maybe not the most gifted off-script quarterback, as we talked about, but in the situation that they've built for him, it's hard to find a better quarterback, in terms of who's available, who could have been acquired. I think that it's the right move. And again, they weren't in a position where they were going to move off of him anytime soon. And so it's almost better, I guess they could have done it a year ago and been, tried to save a little bit of money. But I think it's the right move for right now, especially because of what's around him. Again, it's not just we're paying the quarterback. It's we're paying the quarterback with this setup around him. Just like if the 49ers were to pay Brock Purdy, good for them, because they have a system, a scheme, a philosophy, weapons that seamlessly fit with him. So I'm curious to see really how they bounce back this year, just because, that's a tough blow to take on the chin, going down in the NFC Championship. And, Dan Campbell has alluded to it, but, even from Jared Goff, I think the one thing Jared Goff has going for him that's maybe a little underrated here is this guy was in a Super Bowl with the Rams, lost, and got back to the NFC Championship with a whole new team. And so I think he's proven he's more resilient than a lot of people even today give him credit for.
Cody, man, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. Long way to guess. I've been, dying to get you on. Anything you want to promote while we have you on there? Anything Detroit Lions fans should check out?
I just want to say, first of all, we barely even argued. Look, we're like a Lions fan here.
Yeah.
Next time I'll have to come. I mean, the Lions are too good now. They need to.
Yeah, I know.
They made it easy. No, I would say, we just sorted all 32 teams, so you can check that out on cbssports.com. Next week we'll have a big piece coming out, 100 things to know with 100 days to go until the start of the 2024 season. So you can look for that on cbssports.com.
May I ask where the Lions fell in the all 32?
So these weren't actually like a 1 through 32 ranking. It was tiers. And so we're trying to identify which teams in the NFL are offensively geared, defensively geared, which ones are evenly balanced, and then which ones are kind of the total package. And so I was close to going total package. I put them in offensively geared, but like I said, if their investments in the secondary, I mean, the double dip at cornerback in the draft, I love that. If those pan out, they're gonna make another run.
I guess real quick, before I let you, if you had to make a bet on those guys panning out, either one of them, or I mean, how do you feel about those picks for the Detroit Lions?
I mean, I think the character immediately stands out as these are great culture fits for what Dan Campbell's doing. I mean, even prior to the draft, I guess adding Carlton Davis, that's maybe closer to like a Band-Aid than a huge long-term fix, but it's something. I mean, Terry and Arnold, whenever you're coming in with not only the skill set, but the kind of just the swagger of being an NFL cover man, I think that's going to help. And then, I mean, I think he and Quinyon Mitchell, who fell, both of those guys, Quinyon Mitchell going to the Eagles, I think both of those guys have the potential to really look like crazy steals, which they were deemed on draft night.
Cody, appreciate you again, man. Thank you
so much, man.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a lot more cordial.
Yeah, it was very cordial.
He's a calming voice.
He is a very calming voice, yeah.
And he gave JG his props.
Yeah, he did. And like we said, we've talked about, neither of us have JG as a top 5 quarterback in the league. Yeah. So
you said the 8
to 13 range is very fluctuating when it comes to quarterback ranking. I would put Jared Goff inside the top 10. The only gripe I had with him was how high Purdy was compared to where Goff was.
Yeah,
but he explained it.
Yeah, it's still high though.
Yeah, it's still a little high for just the mobility aspect.
And I'm not like, I don't really care for that. I guess I could have asked the love stuff.
Yeah,
but I kind of know what it is.
Sure.
Similar to what I'm thinking with it. But we do have to go to break, but not before Nick tells us about
Feldman. God, all right, I'll get back into it after break. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. And catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
If you are waking up in the morning and not immediately putting on Wake Up Woodward, you are doing it wrong. Wake up every single day, 8 to 10 a.m. with Wake Up Woodward, and join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all the Detroit sports, sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction on Woodward Sports.
What up, though? Welcome back to the It's live woodwardsports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Small Rex, Uncle Skeet, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario.
Let's go.
Nick, you had to bite your tongue there. You had something to say.
Yeah, we were in a rush to go to break, but so in this ranking that Cody Benjamin had, he had J.J. McCarthy at 25 to start out his career. He's over guys like Daniels, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones, Bo Nix, Gardner Minshew, Jacoby Brissett, and Derek Carr.
I wish I asked him on longer now.
Yeah, I know. You guys were cooking. So, but what do you guys think about that?
JJ's a bum.
I think I'm like 98% sure he's from Minnesota. Cody Benjamin.
Cody Benjamin?
Minneapolis.
I don't know where he resides, but
there was the reports that JJ was struggling at OTAs.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's rookie stuff. I don't buy into too much.
But still, fuck the Vikings.
And Caleb Williams had a bad day today too in 7-on-7.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Shout out the rookies.
Yeah, I saw that. Which obviously made the JJ stuff. Yeah, the article for JJ was NFL notifications that JJ McCarthy has been quote unquote struggling in practice. The coaches gave him an earful as the ball protection has been very poor.
But he had a little fumble issue for a little while there at Michigan until last year. So
yeah,
and this is a different level.
Been picked off by guys like from Toledo too.
This is different or Bowling Green. Shout out
right.
Pete.
I know, baby.
Shout out Pete.
I'm all in.
Pizza Bowling Green. Pizza Bowling Green alum.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, they picked off JJ 3 times in that game.
So who'd you root for in that game, Pete?
Bowling Green.
There you go.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna. Why would I root against the
You're
team?
a Michigan guy.
I grew up, cheering for Michigan.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to Michigan.
Okay.
So when it comes down to those two teams, you got to put on the brown.
Pete
and
was
orange.
slaying Poon at Bowling Green, baby.
Dude, yeah. I wish I could bring you guys back in time. A little hot tub time machine.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Dude.
Let me hit that.
Parties with Unky Pete at Bowling Green would be hype.
Oh, dude, and in the fraternity too.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah. Pete.
Keggers started early, ended late.
Oh yeah.
Let him cook.
Woohoo!
Yeah, the Purdy stuff I would have knocked him down a hell of a tier, to be honest with you. But he made sense of the Jimmy Garoppolo thing, and I
He's definitely better. Purdy is definitely better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is looking like we talked about it yesterday. I equate Jimmy Garoppolo to John Kitna and Dan Orlovsky.
Absolutely.
While Shanahan elevated him a lot. Purdy just looks like he said he does have that off balance twitch kind of throwing motion. He's definitely better with his legs, but still, I put
the
him.
upside's still there too.
I put him, Goff, and Tua into the same caliber right now.
Yeah,
and so having him at 2,
rank the 3.
Yeah,
I'm saying
rank the 3. I'd probably that order.
Purdy, Tua, Goff.
Purdy, Goff, Tua.
Purdy, Goff. Yeah,
Goff's better than Tua. Tua's. I'm not a Tua fan, man.
Tua is literally if Goff could run.
Tua can't really
Tua
run.
can't really run. Yeah, all he does is.
And he's scared. He's scared to run.
He just throws up sets. That's all he does, bro. But I'm taking Goff over Tua for sure.
He's got some mobility. I guess running wasn't the right term to use.
Purdy and Goff, that's debatable.
I guess the thing that I would say is having Jaden Daniels at 28 and JJ at 25 kind of doesn't really sit well with me.
I mean, JJ's more of a prototypical quarterback. He's a better quarterback prospect for the NFL, I would say, but than Daniels, yeah. I mean, he's in a better situation too, much better situation.
Yeah, way better.
A lot of pieces around him than what Daniels had. I mean, Daniels has a good wide receiving core out there, but JJ's got the best wide receiver in the NFL and a very good tight end and a very good second-year guy.
Maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, do you think he re-signs with the Vikings? It sounds like.
Oh yeah, the Jets.
His price went.
Yeah.
Did you hear he was sneaking around the Jets?
Okay, so
was that an actual thing?
No, it wasn't an actual thing. 'Cause first and foremost, it'd be tampering on the Jets end. Secondly, that's where the Minnesota Vikings owner lives. Is like the same area. ML football. I don't know why. Let me give you guys a piece of advice.
ML football sucks, dude.
ML football, Dove Kleiman, tread lightly.
Yeah.
All right. When stuff comes from those guys, just tread lightly. And sometimes they'll break some stuff because they don't have the integrity to verify it. They just throw it out there.
They just throw shit out there. Yeah.
Tread carefully. But does he get traded?
I would not be surprised. That's what the Vikings do. They get the best wide receiver in the league or one of the best wide receivers in the league, and then trade him. This would be the third time it happened. Like
Randy Moss,
Stephon Diggs, and now Justin Jefferson.
The article I seen was that his asking price was significantly more than what it was last year.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a gripe that it just hasn't gotten done.
For sure. That definitely rubs somebody the wrong way. Like, he is the franchise right now.
They'll pay him, though, man.
He is by far your best player. They should pay him, but
there's
I don't know.
No excuse not
to.
The
Vikings are known for not paying top-tier wide receivers. Like, that's who they are.
But if JJ, and I'm talking about McCarthy, is your guy, or at least you hope he is, or maybe even just because Sam Darnold signed a 2-year deal, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or is it a 1-year deal? If anyone wants to verify that in the chat, I don't know. But you can afford to pay JJ whatever the hell at this point if you're going to move forward with JJ as your quarterback because you have him on that rookie deal. And then obviously, once his contract comes up, or whatever you decide from then you can start to divvy up the money. It's not like they went and paid Danielle Hunter $30 million. They let him walk. They paid, Vin Ginkel like 11 or 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gennard got, what did Gennard get? I want to say it was actually surprisingly low.
He got a nice little check, but it wasn't anything too crazy. Yeah, they're definitely paying like they want to win next year, or they want to take another shot at the NFC North next year. Good luck, Vikings. But if they don't pay Justin Jefferson, that's a lot harder to do.
Gennard was $17 million per year.
So it's nothing too crazy.
Sam Darnold's on a 1-year, $10 million contract.
Wow.
So it's just a 1 year.
So they're really banking on JJ here.
Yep.
Wow.
But on to bigger and better things. The Lions. We got a packed slate coming up next for you guys, but break it down.
Break it down.
Let me tell you about Guardian Alarm.
I didn't know what it was.
I was lost on that one. I ain't gonna lie.
Shout
I
out
had no
Nick.
idea what it was.
Let me tell you about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night. No Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology has been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. Guys, 6 locations more across the great state of Michigan. They got the best curated cannabis, the best bartenders, and the best deals. That's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Check it out.
Must be 21 up, no participation. Said that part. Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodsportsCom. I'm Eazy, joined by Spimo Rex.
Hello.
Uncle Skeet, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario, a.k.a. ISO.
Break it
Where
down.
did Skeet come from, by the way?
Uncle Skeet?
Uncle Skeet.
Skeet Davidson.
Skeet, yeah.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Pete, Skeet. What do you prefer, Uncle Pete or Uncle Skeet?
I don't care. I don't call me whatever the hell he wants.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
Just don't call me late for dinner. Oh God, yeah, dude.
Oh, mama. All right. We have a video in there, Pete.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell hit the podium, and I don't know if I sent this tweet per se, but essentially he rattled off like 12 players.
Yep.
I can say the names if you'd like, but the gist of it is some guys are missing today, and then he jokingly said that they may be questionable and or probable on the PUP list come training camp time. But it was Ragnow, Decker, Laporta, Ayotte, Sudfield, Gibbs, Donovan Knight, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Marcus Davenport. Surprise, surprise! Marcus Davenport already not practicing. All right, I'm sorry, relax. DJ Reader, John Comiskey, Derek Barnes, Mosley, Arnold, Rakestraw, and Anzalone. But following that, they kind of asked, like, does this give opportunity to see some of the young guys shine? And Dan Campbell had this to say.
It does. That's a good thing. One of the things, getting a Meek. We've playing a Meek at some nickel here. Obviously we got Davis outside, and Dorsey's outside. Those guys, Rakestraw and Arnold really aren't getting a lot of reps right now. We're being smart with both of those guys. Just a couple of things popped up, nothing to panic about. But that's kind of the beauty of it, especially when they come back. We've got. Brad's done such a good job on the back end now. We've got a lot of competition back there, and then it's, who can do this? And that's just the beginning of this. Okay, Meek at nickel, we know Meek can play outside too, but then what about Rakestraw or Arnold or, Dorse and Vildor, and, we've got options. And so that's kind of what we're tinkering with a little bit right now. It is exciting though. It's pretty fun right now.
So real quick, one of the first thing I obviously want to get out the way, because he did say they do have options, and we talked about that in the secondary. They are, obviously, if everything pans out, stacked.
Yes.
Like, arguably could become, like, one of the top end secondaries in the league. Just because, like, what you have to jump in place if you miss a guy.
The depth of their secondary is evident. And like I said, that I took heat from Kendall Vildor's boys coming at me on Twitter when
you were kind of harsh on them.
What do you mean? I said that Brad Holmes made it a point to say that a player of his caliber will not be taking meaningful snaps for the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game. That is exactly that is literally word for word what I said. A player of Kendall Vildor's caliber.
Brad Holmes said that.
Yes, that's what I said. That's what he showed us. When you go out and you sign 4 cornerbacks in draft or the offseason, that means that room wasn't good enough. That means that room, you don't want those guys to play. So you got 4 guys to put in front of him. And that's what happens. Like, in best case scenario, Kendall Vildor doesn't see the field for the Lions next year.
Yeah.
I would love for all of that to happen. I'm not freaking out about the injuries that these guys have right now. It's bumps, nicks, bruises.
This is just the first week of OTAs. Yeah. There's no reason. And me even making that point was a little bit of housekeeping. The dinger in that one, Meek Robinson, snaps at the nickel.
Yes.
And we were kind of just questioning that or pondering like where he's going to line up at all offseason, just because he started off in the league at the nickel spot, and then obviously due to injury and kind of just actually pure performance as well, moved himself into the outside corner position. Now finds himself getting the first team nickel reps. Now I don't know if that's more to do with his versatility and those guys being out, or if they plan to use him there. I'm all over the place with it, but I thought it was very interesting.
Pistons news. It is breaking Pistons news. Per Adrian Wojnarowski, the Detroit Pistons have landed on Trajan Langdon. Sounds like a dinosaur.
Sounds like a bad guy in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Trajan Langdon, I'm probably butchering that, to become the franchise's new president of basketball operations. And sides are beginning to work a deal for New Orleans GM to oversee the organization. So he was the GM for the New Orleans Pelicans, and he will now be the president of basketball operations for the Pistons.
If he is so good, why are we letting him walk if we're the New Orleans Pelicans?
I'm trying to find, because I know a while back, Koo put out a tweet about one of these guys being the lead, but the guy in the lead was also, no coincidence, a Tellum
assistant.
He was signed to the Tellum's agency. I'm trying to find the tweet though. It was from Koo.
This guy was Trajan?
No, we don't.
No. I'm trying to confirm. Yeah, I'm trying to confirm that. Damn it, Chris. I don't know if you need to take more days off, because every time this kid's gone, literally something breaks every day.
Yeah,
every time.
Whether it's like in something he loves in rap or something he loves in basketball, but every time this guy Chris is gone, something like this breaks.
Pelicans fans are saying like it's a pretty big hit. Like Pelicans Press, it's like a Pelicans fan account. It's got like 10,000 followers. So it says Pelicans losing Trajan Langdon when the organization couldn't be in a more pivotal time when it comes to roster construction and future plans, to put bluntly, sucks. Really chose Detroit over New Orleans. Congrats, though. Trajan is awesome. All Pelicans fans. Trajan was a great GM. losing Trajan sucks. So, we'll see. I mean, hopefully, you can't be worse than what we got. I'll put it bluntly. Like, he cannot be worse than what we have. Does this mean the end of Troy Weaver era in Detroit? I sure as hell hope so. Does this mean the end of the Tellum era in Detroit? I sure as hell hope so. Like, this guy, if I was this guy, the first thing I do when I land in Detroit is fire every single person working under me and regroup, because that shit is not working and you need a clear front office. So this is, we got Trajan Langdon as the Pistons' new president of basketball operations.
Langdon, yeah. He was with the Tellums.
He was with the Tellums?
Langdon has climbed the ranks, starting with San Antonio and Brooklyn before New Orleans in his current role. During Langdon's playing days, Arn Tellum was his agent. Tellum is now the Pistons vice chairman. The Pistons have picked up players represented by Tellum's sons through the years.
You gotta fucking kidding me.
What the hell are we doing? Fellas, this is a joke of an organization. Spenmo.
I'm sad. I'm fucking depressed, bro.
Are you fucking kidding me? Everything's staying the same.
Everything's literally staying the fucking same.
This is just.
I'm not even like.
I need a lobotomy. That's what I need. This is
a lobotomy.
Labat and a lobotomy, dude. This is fucking ridiculous. Tom Gores, you are flat out. You're a pussy. Like, you're letting these guys ruin this organization. You're letting these guys hire their friends, hire their buddies, hire this guy.
All in the music videos.
Let's sign this guy. Yeah, all in the music videos. You're letting them bring in their former players. Oh, Marvin Bagley, sign him to a big deal. He was a friend. Oh, Josh Jackson, bring him in here. He was a friend. He deserves a shot. Oh, Langdon, yeah, he was great. Bring him in. Fuck the Tellums, dude. This is embarrassing. This is pandering. This is malfeasance.
At this point,
oh my fucking God.
And I don't even know like what we're allowed to say, because obviously we have credentialed members that covered the Pistons.
I just called you
and stuff like that. But you did, because everything looks that way. He looks like a cuck. This is very reminiscent of. I don't even mean to bring it down this road, but remember the Harvey Weinstein stuff, like when all that shit was going down, and like they when they raided his house, there was like in his living room was a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress.
Yeah,
just an absolute fucking power move. Does Arm Tellum have something over Tom Gores that we just don't know? That's yet to be discovered yet. Has Tom Gores? We know him as a wild boy. We know him as a wild boy at the game.
Yeah.
Eyes bloodshot, whipping t-shirts at old ladies. Like we know him as a wild. What does Arm Tellum have on Tom Gores that just hasn't been revealed yet?
The Tellums got to have a hooker buried in the backyard. Like, they got to have something.
Or Gores has it, the Tellums help them bury.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They have a decaying carcass of a hooker in the backyard that they had to get rid of. These guys have the Pistons organization by the fucking throat, and they are cramming it full of dog shit. I'm sorry, Trajan Langdon. I don't know how to pronounce your name yet, but Jesus Christ. I'm sure you're a cool guy.
I feel bad for this guy.
I feel bad for this guy because I already hate him.
Yeah. It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. It is not your fault at all. But, oh, my God, man. Fuck the Tellums. Like, you guys are just pieces.
Fuck the Tellums.
Fuck the Tellums. Oh, my God.
This is crazy, man. I mean, even if this was a legit hiring of some sort, like, you can't see it this way because this organization has been so much of a fucking joke, dude. This is story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. And now she looks so sad in photographs. I absolutely love her.
When she Tellums.
Do I?
What an absolute disaster.
Can I be a Timberwolves fan? Am I allowed to do that, bro?
Trajan Langdon.
It's Trajan Langdon.
Trajan Langdon.
Yeah, I remember him from playing for Duke.
Trajan Langdon. Okay, yeah. Sorry, man. I'm sure you are a very great guy. I'm sure you're a very capable basketball mind, but I hate you already because you have a connection to the cancer that is decaying the body of the Detroit Pistons. Being Arm Tellum. Soldier Boy Tellum. Fuck them both. Like, this is, dude, oh my God.
Fucking horrendous.
How can you just sit there and let this continue to happen if you're Tom Gores. They're doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and you're just taking it and taking it and taking it.
It's like a kink.
It's
like some BDSM
He's
shit.
got a fucking domination kink. Like, oh my God, this is embarrassing.
Wow.
I guarantee all the other owners in the NBA, they sit there and they fucking laugh at Tom Gores and what he's doing to this storied franchise. One of the most historic franchises in the NBA is being abused by two dorks in suits in the front office. Fuck the Tellums. This is such horseshit, bro. Oh my God.
It's to the point too where I can't even be mad, Spinny. Like to the point where you and Nick are, because I'm just the passion's gone. Like they're dead. They died. They're dead to me.
Cade Cunningham is going to sign his Supermax and then request a trade the next day. So it was fun having a star for a couple years. See, Cade, I love you. Get out. Like, get out.
Save yourself.
Brother. It's not fucking worth it. Love the Cunninghams. Great people. Great human beings. Very supportive. Very cool guys.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. The Pistons are awful. They don't deserve you. Go hitch your wagon to a team that actually functions like an NBA franchise. Because the Pistons aren't that.
Amen, Spenny. I've never been happier to not have gotten season tickets again. Like, I'm thrilled right now that I do not have those season tickets. And watching last night, just like the game of the Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks, fellas, we're not even close to the play-in. Like, these teams are so much better than us. This team has no shot with Arn Tellem. Tom Gore's running it. Troy Weaver is still hired today, fellas. What are we doing? Arm Tellem effing blows. That's where I'm at.
Alan W. in the Woodward Sports chat. I'm going to have to get rid of my Cade jersey because our franchise failed him. SMH. Apollo says, Get Out Part 2, directed by Jordan Poole. Honestly, like...
Directed by Tom Gores and company.
Yeah, like these guys, they're taking the Detroit Pistons and turning them into the Charlotte Bobcats.
And by the way, Apollo says, watch this guy end up being the savior. Let it happen. But what do I have to believe in? What is there to believe in? Anything attached to that fucking name, Tellem, has destroyed a storied franchise. Like one of the only franchises I've got to witness win a championship in my lifetime. And the one that I remember most. I was watching the 04 Pistons last night, to be honest with you. Like, what is there to believe in that he is some type of savior? Anything linked to the Tellems, a former Tellem client, whether it be player, front office, son, whatever it is, has been fucking horrendous for this team. What do I have to believe in? Fuck your savior. If he's our savior, fuck him. Until proven otherwise. I don't... What the fuck am I supposed to... Yeah, he's here! No!
Like I said...
Team's cooked.
Trajan Langdon, again, I'm sorry. This is not on you. Like I said, I'm sure you are a great man. I'm sure you know a lot more about basketball than I do, but I hate you already because you have a link to the cancer that is eroding the Pistons' corpse, and that being the Tellems. And if you get us Brandon Ingram, that would be cool. That is a link there to Ingram in New Orleans. That would be cool. I'd be happy with that. But, oh my God, dude, it's
bad.
They're going to sign James Wiseman to a Supermax. They're going to
Tobias Harris, Supermax incoming.
If they, oh my God, dude, I would honestly like burn my Piston shit.
Get ready.
Like I would probably destroy every piece of Pistons shit I have if they signed Tobias Harris to a Supermax.
He's coming.
Well, not a Supermax, but a max deal.
Yeah, I would not be surprised in the slightest.
That would be the most embarrassing. Dude, that would be literally them looking at us and saying, fuck you, we don't give a shit about you.
They just did say, fuck you, we don't give a shit about you. Hiring a former client that is associated with them? Like, what are we doing here? This is an actual NBA franchise that is doing this.
I feel bad for Troy Weaver.
I always have.
I feel bad for... I've criticized Troy Weaver and his drafting ability. I feel bad for Troy because now this cements the fact that he has no control over any decision made. He does not say it is the Tellems working him like a puppet. Troy Weaver, I feel bad for you. You had one of the hardest bars in basketball history talking about Halle Berry. But man, This guy has not been able to make a decision to better this team because the fucking Tellums do it for him.
And maybe, again, I haven't done the homework on LinkedIn to have a strong opinion, but the Pistons have never given us anything to believe in. They're just...
Not in your generation.
Not my... Well, I mean, I got to see the 04, but I'm talking about since the ownership of...
Yeah.
Shift God says, Spenny going to blow a fuse if they sign Tobias.
For sure.
If we sign Tobias Harris while I'm live on air, it's going to be cinema. I'll tell you that.
Bring him back again.
Like, oh my God.
2.0.
7 years later.
He's such a bum.
Tobias Harris 2.0.
I guess let's go to break.
On that note, so depressing.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
I wish you boys were around in 89 and 90 when the Pistons were starting that.
That would be cool,
and
Pete.
taking down Michael Jordan back in the day.
I wasn't even a thought in my dad's balls yet, Pete. Let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's exactly what Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men does that for you. Stop in, sit back, relax, and let Lady Jane's talented stylist make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences, the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
What up, welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Spivak, Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. No, Young Chris is not here. I apologize, Uncle Pete.
It's all right.
Break it down.
Proud of it. Uncle Skeet. This guy played baseball. That's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, he did a San Diego Padre, right?
Yeah. All right, so there's not much in his 10 years at the other places he's been at. I'm trying to see, like, the time span he was with these other organizations and what was done within that time span. Because everything else really, on his Wikipedia at least, is like his playing career. I mean, if the Pelicans fans are missing him, but what does that mean? What have the Pelicans done? They got blessed, and they didn't capitalize on it with the Anthony Davis trade. This is where, like, I'll buy into the NBA lottery being rigged, right? LeBron left Cleveland. What happened? Kyrie Irving. Anthony Bennett to fall that. Like, we're sorry. We fucked up. We lost your star. Okay, whatever. Anthony Davis leaves New Orleans. What'd they get? Zion Williamson. Obviously, you saw it again with Wemby to the Spurs. Jesus. I could see that stuff being rigged. This, though, man, I don't know, Spinny. I don't have good things to say because the Pelicans, they're giving their first round pick. They're giving players alongside it. Obviously, you can't really dictate the injury that happened to LaMelo, or not LaMelo, but Lonzo. I think Brandon Ingram's a very good player, and they felt like they had something there for a minute, but they never really did anything with it. They didn't capitalize. They just had the number 1 overall pick. So I can't really even point to him. They had a tough series with the Suns. That's about it.
Yeah. Like, fuck. This franchise will never be out of the lottery as long as the Tellums are available. As long as the Tellums are apart and are dragging their sorry asses around that front office, the Detroit Pistons will never be anything other than a lottery team. This is embarrassing malfeasance. It's nepotism. It's just disgusting Bush League behavior, and Tom Gores is just sitting there and taking it. This is The Pistons don't care about you, the fan. The Pistons don't care about success as a team or franchise. The players deserve more. The fans deserve more. Monty Williams, you should just quit. Like, I would quit if I was you. Troy Weaver, I feel bad for you, man. This is embarrassing. We are going to continue to be the laughingstock of professional sport for the next 10 years.
I'm just reading stuff up on him. He's with the Spurs as a scout for 2012, 2015. Nick, if you want to look up their draft classes between then, I'm kind of curious. I don't know when they got Kawhi, but I'm assuming it was within that time frame. He actually interviewed for the GM vacancy for the Pelicans before getting hired under Griffin. Remember, he used to be there with the Cavaliers. He was there when they drafted Zion. He later received consideration for head of basketball operations in Sacramento and Washington. You find it, Nick?
Yeah, you say 2012 through 2015?
Yeah, any notable draft picks? I mean, I guess you can't even credit him fully with that, but
God damn it. No, that's not right. Kyle Anderson in 2014 was his only notable draft pick through 2012 and 2015. The other guys are not in the league or haven't been.
I mean, at least
Kyle Anderson is the only buddy in 3 years that he drafted that actually maybe even played in the league. A lot of these guys were looks like overseas.
It says they rave about his talent evaluation skills.
I mean, Kyle Anderson at 30, he's had a good career for drafting that late, but 2016, the next year after he left, Dejounte Murray at 29.
I don't know. I mean,
so we just hired Troy Weaver, who's friends with the Tellums.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe it works out.
It's not going to work out.
Maybe it works out.
The Pistons are dead.
Maybe it works out.
I guess.
I mean, we all hope it works out.
It's not going to work out.
Dude, tell him. What does he have? What does he have? I want to know.
The Pistons are dead. They're cooked. The goose is cooked. Goodbye, Detroit basketball. We hardly knew ye. I love the Pistons so much, man. And to see them just imploding from the inside out and just to continuously keep just getting your shit pushed in. As a fan, man, you ever have your shit pushed in? As a fan, as a Pistons fan, that's what we've been dealing with for the past 10 years, and it's just getting worse. Oh, man. This is depressing, said MJ. It really is, dude. It is, dude. I'm gonna have the saddest workout of my life. I'm gonna be listening to Alanis Morissette and fucking
boom, boom, boom,
boom,
boom, boom. Tell me what you gonna do.
Oh my god! I just want to go cry in the shower. Like, this is. Oh my god.
You know what? Maybe help them get Herb Jones. He got Rookie of the Year votes over Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Herb's a solid player, and they got him in the second round too. Second round, 35th overall pick. I don't have much to say on this, man. We truly just have to watch it pan out. The attachment to Tellums is like the negativity on him, though.
That's what like I said, it's not on him. It's not Trajan Langdon. Like I said, I'm sure you are a great man. You know a lot more about basketball than I do, for sure. Not that, but your connection to Arm and Ed Tellum is everything I need to know. That you will not be able to make decisions on your own free will. You'll be held at gunpoint for any decision that they want to make. And that's what's been ruining the Pistons the past 5 years, and it's just going to continue now because they got their guy. The Tellums got their guy. The Pistons didn't get their guy. The Tellums did. So now this is going to be a graveyard of old Tellum players. Everybody who's ever signed to their agency is going to come get millions of dollars to play for the Pistons and be a lottery team.
If I were to, I guess, point out any positivity or possibility of positivity, maybe Brandon Ingram becomes a Piston at this point. You also the fact that I'm sure Monty worked with him a little bit of time, obviously, before leaving to be a part of Phoenix. So, like, maybe you have someone in the front office that has the same vision or style of basketball or style of winning basketball. They believe the same recipe, I should say, as your head coach, Monty Williams. I'm looking for something, guys. I'm really looking for something. There's not much here. He's just really in a proven situation, Pete.
Well, the best thing I can offer you of any silver lining, well, I don't even think that's a silver lining. You know now, if you look at his track record, which direction are the Pistons going to go when they draft players? European. Look at his European. This guy played in Russia, Italy, I forget where else he played over there in Europe, but I'm just saying, like, he's going to be brought in to evaluate the next NBA, crop of players coming from overseas. Yeah, right. You're right. But, I'm just saying, unfortunately, this guy's going to be like overseas. He's going to be like, oh, you got to go get this guy from Russia. You got to go get this guy from Italy or wherever. It's like, I don't know if that's a good. I mean,
to be fair,
I don't know if that's where you should be going in the NBA.
Jokic coming off
that's the only thing.
Two-time MVP in the ring, and Luka might win this year too.
And then, okay, so here's a guy he probably would target. Who's the guy who just came over from FAU to Michigan? The Russian, the 7'1" center,
the big kid. I don't know his name.
He would be targeted by a guy like Trajan Langdon.
Yeah,
he would know his playing style.
The Detroit Tellums, maybe.
Detroit Tellums.
We gotta get a hold of stick. Maybe that's the next shirt. Detroit Tellums. Rest in peace to my Detroit Pistons. I am Spinny already a Knicks fan. I'll side with the Timberwolves. Nick, you're picking a team?
I mean, I need Timberwolves to win and Edmonton to win it, so I'm
you got Kings hat on.
I'm on them this year. What? Yeah, the hat doesn't. I just wear it.
Yeah.
I'm not a Kings fan.
All right, let's go to break. When we come back, we'll have some positivity. I promise you, because we're talking Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions has Super Bowl expectations per Dan Campbell, as well as some stuff about Jameson Williams. But first, we gotta tell you about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone, and we mean anyone, can get a workout in. Make sure you go there. 30-minute workout, whole body. You get all that and more for just $10 a month. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Known for their quality hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken, their delicious chicken sandwiches and New York-style pizza. You can stop in any mega station near you to get some, or go to Sorokis.com to figure out where you can get some of this great food.
What up, and welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WorldSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spinbo Rex, artist formerly known as, he's pretty down the dumps right now, Uncle Skeet, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. We're picking it up, guys.
Break it down.
We're moving it on. That franchise is already dead. This essentially is the same as Kendrick coming out with They Not Like Us. Like, Drake was already dead. It was already done. Yeah. All right, just open up the casket.
Stop it. No? He's already dead.
Just a couple more of those. That's all this is, guys. We'll move on. Life is good because Detroit Lions have Super Bowl
franchise
expectations. A competent franchise.
And how the turntables.
One of the only picks you could point to, and you want to nitpick Brad Holmes about, could or maybe still is a guy named Jameson Williams.
Mm-hmm.
However, we've been on the up and up. I think we have higher expectations for Jameson Williams this year, and so does Dan Campbell. Pete, you mind playing the clip?
There again. All right, so we started this thing, back in April, and you got phase 1 for a couple of weeks. Then we've been on the grass for 3 weeks in phase 2, which has been routes on air and fundamentals and individual and doing all this, and then we're 2 practices in. And if you said, give me one player that is the most improved from that start to finish in that time, J-Mo would be that guy right now. All right, he is a man on a mission, and it's.
Here's the thing, too, is so here's Jameson Williams. This is also a quote from Justin Rogers. But the thing is, so Dan Campbell was asked specifically at some point in the press conference, and he's asked, what is it specifically that J-Mo's like increased at? Or what was he gotten better at? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And again, this is the one guy you could have pointed to it throughout the Brad Holmes regime, drafting-wise, that you're like, what happened with this one here? But it takes time to develop sometimes. And J-Mo really hasn't, I won't say he's been given a fair shake because some of the stuff he's been responsible for in terms of the gambling suspension, and he did come back a little bit early. However, the flip's been switched. We saw it a little bit last year in the back half of the season, and then following into the NFC Conference Championship game, 2 touchdowns of that one of them being like the final closing minute, if not seconds, of that game to just give yourself an opportunity. And on top of that, too, he spoke himself, and I wasn't able to cut this one out for you, Pete, but he talked about just maturing, just in himself. Not doing things his way. He said at the collegiate level, you kind of just hop in, you kind of do whatever you want when you're that talented. You know, at the NFL, it's much like we talk about with Ben Johnson specifically. He'll line up and he'll give you the same look 13 different times. Well, he'll run 13 different plays out of it to the point it's driving like defensive coordinators to the brink of insanity because they don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, okay, we've seen this lineup before. They're probably doing this. No, it's something else every other time. J-Mo's finally getting in the hang of that. He's also talked about just slowing himself down a little bit. In terms of like, and we talked about this, I think, when we had Pete Bukowski on too. He's trying like, what's J-Mo done? What's J-Mo done? He has learned like the nuance of route running. He has learned like little pockets where you get like find yourself open. He has the perfect guy to learn from that too, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes, he does.
The thing with me too, and I mentioned it also with when we had Chef Geach on yesterday, and we talked about Jameson Williams. You spoke about how he finished the season. The confidence instilled in me and him being something this year, corresponding with Brad Holmes not grabbing anybody in terms of wide receivers. Maybe they re-signed DPJ, but he was already here. You lost a guy in Josh Reynolds who was your number 2 receiver. For all 3 years he was here. All 3 years. Jameson Williams is burdened or expected at least to pick that pace up on top of doing what he already did for you last year. And that's where my confidence is like Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, and Ben Johnson. If they didn't have those expectations of Jameson Williams, you would have saw another acquisition at the wide receiver position.
Yes, they're not a team. They're not a front office. They're not a franchise that gets caught with their pants down. Like they know what they have. They address what they have. And like they said, if they have needs, they fill them in free agency. There's a reason you didn't see them grab a free agent wide receiver because they do not see that as a need. I talked about it earlier about saying take things out of OTAs lightly, and what Dan Campbell has said about J-Mo these past couple clips that we've gotten out of him. This is the same guy who came out last year and said Jameson Williams is never going to be that all hands guy. Making all these. This is a guy who tells you how it is. He's not going to gas you up. He's not going to give you a fluff piece. He tells you what is on his mind, what he's thinking, and what he believes.
Remember when golf was struggling?
Exactly. Yes. He calls people out. He's not going to go out there and fluff you just because you were a high draft pick, just because you're a high paid player on this team. No, he tells you what he thinks. And he thinks Jameson Williams has improved in every facet, and I love it. Because I've been saying it for a while. I know Eazy was off the train for a little while, and now he's on. I don't know if he's still.
I was never off the train. I just didn't know. I didn't know where to land my expectations.
I fully expected Jameson Williams to be the wide receiver 2 on this team since the end of last year. What I saw out of him, I expect him to take that jump this year, to be a guy that is going to be a danger for NFL defenses to plan for, to be a guy that is going to break games like we've seen him do already on occasions, like he broke the Tampa Bay game wide open, and they had to change their entire defense because he has that oh shit speed. I've mentioned that before. He's got that oh shit speed where when you see him running at you, you say oh shit because you got to get back or he is going to run past you. Jameson Williams, I got him at 1,100 plus all-purpose yards, 10 plus touchdowns next season.
10 plus touchdowns, crazy.
I think he's going to be an animal.
Easy, crazy. He's going to be getting them on the ground as well as the air. That's why it's not crazy. I don't think Spenmo. I'm right there with you. I'm fired up about J-Mo, and to quote the man on the desk himself. Waymo
targets.
Waymo J-Mo, yeah. Let's go. I mean, this is what we expect, kind of. I mean, maybe not the first day of camp or OTAs for Dan Campbell to come out and say this, because he doesn't say anything lightly. Like, when he talks about a player, he 100% means it. So this is great news for this Detroit Lions offense, because if J-Mo turns into that absolute dog that we know he can be, this offense goes from elite to best in the league, like, by far. Like, if he is that guy, like, I'm extremely thrilled. And this is what happens if he gets a full off season with Jared Goff, which he's never had before. We know Jared Goff needs to trust his wide receivers, needs to know where you're going to be, what read you're going to make on different plays. If J-Mo can be in lockstep with Jared Goff, it's going to go a long way, and good luck to any team's opposing defense.
And that's some of the stuff J-Mo touched on when he got his chance to speak with the media. Is like, yeah, getting in tune with Jared Goff. I mean, we spoke to all-pro wide receiver Herman Moore, and he said, yeah, sometimes you do got to get in tune with your quarterback. Like, regardless if that ball's coming out wobbly or as a spiral, it's your job to catch it no matter what. So it's your best interest to find out what you need to do to connect with that quarterback. And J-Mo has been working on it. J-Mo has done that. He spoke on it today. On top, again, just the nuances of route running and doing things the right way. Being disciplined when you're returning back to the line and try to sell a run just as much as you're selling the pass. Like, he's equipped in that now at the pro level. And it's just now, I think this year, we're hopefully going to see him break out hopefully to the tune of a number 12 overall pick, because I had high expectations for him too. And to be honest with you, I'm quite sick of like hearing some of like the negativity shit, because like it is hard to argue. People on our show were telling us that we weren't defending what, brother. Those numbers we can't really speak on.
Defend those numbers.
Yeah, we can't. They are what they are.
We can only talk about projections and what we think he's going to be.
Exactly. There's no advanced analytics. There was nothing there to provide.
Yeah.
Just the context of it all, and now we see it. Not just us saying it. Now it's a guy named Dan Campbell saying it, and it echoes the sentiment of Brad Holmes again, not making any moves to acquire any additional wide receivers to help this offense be top 3, top 5 as it has been the past 2 seasons, I should say. Uncle Skeet?
Me?
Anything on J-Mo?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that J-Mo is obviously very, very key for the wide receiver position, but he's not the number one option, nor will he ever, I think, on this Lions offense be. The number one option, in my opinion, is Sam Laporta. I think the offense goes and runs passing-wise through him.
Over Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Congratulations.
Over Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Cloud.
That's personally where I'm going, dude. Because, I mean, Sam Laporta is the go-to guy on the offensive scheme. It just seems to be that way. I think that J-Mo is definitely going to be obviously needed as a top target, especially with a double team on Amon-Ra. Yeah. But I just don't think that he's going to be the number one option even this year. Eventually he will be, but I just don't think as long as Sam Laporta is around, I don't think that J-Mo will be the number one option on the team. That's just personally how I see it when I watch television.
I agree. I don't think J-Mo's going to be the number one option. I don't think he'll be the number 2 option in this passing offense. But as a wide receiver, I think he's the number 2
as wide receiver. Yeah.
And if he could produce a level to what he's expected to be or what he can do, like, this is already a top 5 offense.
Yes.
This is the crazy shit. And then we talked about today. They asked him any goals, like, statistically. He said, no, like, I just want to win games. I saw him winning games without me. I got nothing to prove. We just want to go win games. What you love to hear, by the way, from a wide receiver, because we know just throughout history, wide receivers can get a little, diva-y, if that makes any sense. But the thing with him is it opens up so much more for a guy like Sam Laporta. Because once a J-Mo gets going, once he flashes to you like what he can do against your defense, you have to account for that. Yep. There has to be a safety over the top of whoever you have on the field guarding him. And guess who's, safeties are supposed to guard a Sam Laporta, who also top 5, arguably right now at the position.
Yes.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I don't think it's arguable.
He wins the intermediate routes as well. Jahmyr Gibbs, we're expecting to break out to like a pass game role too, more than just running the football. We expect him to catch a little bit more. Like, it's going to open up so many more things. And his presence already does it, but now let him go out there and catch a ball. Now you have to stay true to that.
And you can't load the box against the best run offense in the NFL. So if you got a guy that you got to worry about a safety and a corner to be back on, that's 2 guys that are going to be out of the box, worried about J-Mo running by him with his shit speed. You give the ball to Gibbs or Montgomery, they're running against odd man boxes and they make shit happen. Like, we literally saw the formula against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, they were playing us tight. We were playing them tight the first game, not the playoff game. The whole first game, we were playing Tampa Bay tight. And then what happened? You hit Jameson Williams with a deep shot touchdown, and their defense said, oh shit, we got to worry about him. The middle of the field opened up. You saw Laporta get some balls. You saw Amon-Ra St. Brown get some balls. You saw the offense work how it's supposed to. Taking the top off the defense is what J-Mo does at a high level, and we need him to do that, and I believe he will do that next year. Not just that, too. We saw him with the intermediate routes. We saw him with contested hands catches in the back of the end zone against the best defense in the NFL. Like, I expect this guy to be a monster.
And to speak to that point, Spemo, when he did get behind the defense, you guys remember the game where we almost lost at home to the horrible Chicago Bears at the time.
Yeah.
He was the one that sparked that comeback as well, sneaking behind that defense. Jared Goff hits him back of the end zone. Like you said, we saw it in the Tampa Bay game. We saw it in the Chicago game. If he doesn't catch that touchdown, we might not win this game.
Yeah.
And that was a big reason why that this team has been successful in some certain spots. So I expect that a lot more. Eazy, how good are you feeling hearing this from Dan Campbell after making that bet about Christian Watson?
I tagged Pete automatically. You already know. Not you, but different Pete. Pete Bukowski. I tagged him because I was talking about it on with our other guys. We used to work here, and I was like, "Yo, I made this bet with this guy from the Green Bay Packers. Like, beat. What do you think's gonna happen?" And obviously, he was kind of split. And I was like, "Ah, yeah, you're kind of right. Like, I'm kind of nervous too." But again, the context of not acquiring anybody else.
Yes.
And Dan Campbell coming out and saying this.
He's your number 2.
He's your number 2. And I'll say this real quick, too. Like, I don't think they're number 2 wide receiver, yes. But, like, in terms of Pete,
number
like,
2
what
wide
you're saying,
receiver.
yeah, like, that's the beautiful thing about this offense. And that's why this offense is so, like, at times, like, just you can't really do shit about it.
There's so much.
Amon-Ra is your number 1. But there's other options that could just as easily be your number 1.
There's levels
Jameer
to this
could be
shit.
your number
No
one.
Diddy.
Sam Laporta could be your number 1. Jameson Williams, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to this, but he could probably be your number 1. If he had a quarterback, I don't want to do that. But if he had someone like Josh Allen, he probably could be number 1. All right, Amon-Ra, like everybody can be a number 1 in this. That's the dangerous part about it.
Yeah,
he just opens up more of it, the more likeliness of it. And by the way, to Shad, who can't wait for tomorrow for some real Piston news. Let the Pistons be a real organization, and maybe we have some real shit to say. Because otherwise, before then, anything associated with the Tellums and the Pistons doesn't deserve any real attention. They haven't done shit, but give you the worst seasons in I'm not even bullshitting when I say that. Quite literally, the worst 5 seasons in franchise history, including the quite literal worst of all time.
Yeah.
There's no real Piston news until they do some real shit.
Yeah, they're the laughing stock in the NBA. They are ran by 2 pieces of shit that just hire their buddies, and they just hired another one of their
Piston
buddies.
News. The Pistons are real fucking bad.
Yeah.
I think it's just changing up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's your news. Breaking news. Surprise, they're bad.
Yeah. Tell us about Swiss.
Jesus. I'll tell you about Swiss. I might need it. All right. Getting that Pistons news. Might need to insure. All right. I might need to make sure those deductibles aren't creeping up on me. Those rates aren't creeping up on me because I might need to make a call. And if you're doing the right thing, you're making the call to my guy Mark. That's Mark at Swiss Insurance. Contact him directly. Let him know how great the Pistons are in an email. That's Mark at SwissINS.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Dispo Dispensary is where I need to go after the show because of Shad's horrendous comments. However, Dispo Dispensary got the best cannabis in the game, the best deals, the best bud tenders. There's 6 locations more across the great state of Michigan. That's why they're your local cannabis plug. You must be 21 and up and older to participate. If you can't make it there, I'll make it to you with Dispo Dash. That's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Smo Rex. Uncle Skeet, Nicholas Kohloff, aka Detroit Mario. Without further ado, jeez Louise. God, we got Al in the building. As well as JC. What up, man?
Boys, football never left.
Football never left.
Amen. Thank God the Pistons are good right now. Could you imagine the Tigers were on this slide?
Lions.
You get this Pistons news, and the Lions are still not doing well. I don't want to think about it. Thank God for the Detroit Lions. Never thought I'd be saying that. Al, did you catch any of the clips today from OTAs?
Is there a world where I don't catch the clips from OTAs and the media available? Yes.
That's
I caught up.
True.
We're on a mission from our football god, Lord and Savior, Dan Campbell, and apparently so is Jameson Williams, huh?
Yeah, it's you love to hear that. You love to hear the stuff about Jameson Williams. I'm excited. I expected him to be the number 2 wide receiver in this offense going forward. Does the comments that Dan Campbell made, does that further your excitement for him, or are you just...
Yeah, what stood out to you most today?
What stood out most? I'll touch base, and I know, Spence, I feel like you and I were on the same page that they were telling us everything they thought.
Yes.
They were being very transparent. We could have overpaid for Josh Reynolds, which was a very low value contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't. We went and we stuck with Jameson Williams. And then what did Dan Campbell do today? Dan Campbell's ability to have strength-based coaching management, his ability to heap praise when it's deserved, but also call out players when they need motivation.
Yeah.
I think he gets people better than most coaches in the NFL, and he doesn't get credit for that.
Yeah.
What did he do today? He heaped praise on Jameson and Jack Campbell, 2 young guys we put high-value picks in who could take the next step. We need them to take the next step so we can keep climbing the mountain a little further. And what happened? Both of them got media availabilities after as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's rewarding them. I think he's aware that the media and the fans and the players hear what he says. He's very precise with what he's putting out there. And it's pretty cool to hear him heap praise on Jameson. I know there's just been some other thoughts about Jameson. At his interview, said he admitted he was immature. He was being a little selfish. It's just pretty wild that it should be coming to fruition this year.
I love it. I'm so excited for it.
Listen.
Eazy hates JMO.
I don't hate JMO. Never hated JMO. However, I do remember you making certain statements that he was going to be a bust and whatnot. Whatever. You know, it is.
When did I say that?
Moving on, though. Did you catch AG's presser by chance?
I just saw a quote that he had said something about we're going to play man coverage.
Yeah. Which finally has a piece he could do. Talked about being a smothering defense. And I know you got your headphones if you want. Pete, you could honestly play any one of those AG clips. The Jack Campbell one probably was my favorite, though.
Okay, you got it. You ready?
Yeah.
What's your expectations for him and how important of a role that he'll play in defense in year 2?
Let me tell you, first off, he's a man. He's a grown man. He's really taking control of this offseason the way he should take control of it. He's a true Mike backer. He's a guy that lives, breathes green dot mentality as a Mike backer. And he's done a really good job of actually, and all our guys have, just transforming their body because they've had a true offseason in the NFL. So he's done a good job with that. And then just watching him on the field, his zone drops, his mentality as far as going after the football has been outstanding. We only had 2 days of practice, and he's been doing a heck of a job. And just the way that he's leading the men as far as defense is impressive to see.
Bro, it's just another example of a situation where you kind of have an expectation of a guy, like your own expectation based off just trajectory, just putting pieces together. But you're on the outside still. You're assuming, you're making a guess, essentially. An educated one. But then you hear a guy like AG, just like Dan Campbell said about JMO, confirmed everything we thought for JMO this year. And you hear the defensive coordinator, AG, talk about Jack Campbell in that way. How you feeling, Al?
Guys, I don't know. Is it getting hot in here? Do you have a cigarette I can bum after listening to that? Holy smokes. I actually can't believe he talked about the zone drops, too, and the way he pursues the football. Mm-hmm. I mean, as of late, it is so hard to play linebacker year 1, make that transition from college and be able to mentally be there where you're reacting and not thinking. And This tells me everything I need to know, that he's doing everything he needs. We drafted a guy that has all the attributes to be a successful, dominant, all-pro linebacker. For him to say those things, that transforms our defense, right? If we put him in the middle, that makes life easier for. Think about the spine of our defense, guys. Now we got DJ Reader there.
Yes.
And now we got Jack Campbell lifting it up. And guess what? That makes it so Alex Anzalone can shine more. He doesn't have. I didn't hear he said sorry. I didn't hear he said green dot, and I was going to talk to you guys about who you think gets the green dot this year. And Aaron Glenn just freaking told us.
It's Jack Campbell. Yeah, it's Captain Jack. They brought him in here for a reason. I've been preaching this for a couple weeks or for months now, that Jack Campbell is going to be the breakout player on the Lions. This dude's going to, I've been saying 120 plus tackles this season. DJ Reader was a big factor of that, but hearing this from the defensive coordinator, like, the meat missile is here. The meat missile is ready for liftoff, baby. I'm so excited to see this man just be a fucking demon out there on the defense.
Yeah, man, I think it might be a little less meat missile and more Lady Jane's commercial. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think it might be a little bit less meat missile and more like just, like he said, dropping back in the zone. Like, he's 6'5", bro. Mm-hmm. Like anything dealing with coverage. I talked about with Darius Slay, but we talked about on the show too. Like, sometimes cornerback is a tough position to learn converting to the NFL level. You see, obviously, your Sauce Gardners, and I mean, there's been a few guys here and there who've stepped out. I think you see it more likely from like a nickel spot than the outside. But like anything dealing with coverage, though, I think you got to give those guys 2 to 3 years till you see like them fully develop. And then you hear these things about Jack like right now. Like, people, I think Apollo was the one, and I apologize, Apollo, if it wasn't you, but people doubting Jack just because of that rookie. Like, you're crazy, bro. Like,
he was never drafted for his rookie year.
He was never drafted for the rookie year. That was never supposed to be like 6'5". The athletic traits of Raxter are like off the charts, and now he's finally like learning the system. Like the big brain and the big body combined with the athleticism.
Brain, big body, and big commitment. And the way he's going to be able to erase passing windows. Think about on third down, they're not able to attack the middle like teams have been able to attack ever since we lost DeAndre Levy. That has been a problem going back to the Chargers game, Amir Abdullah's first game. Remember that? We were up 21-0, and it was just those crossers, it was those slants, it was those in-breakers. Those have been a problem for us, and those are things that the San Francisco 49ers, everything we are doing is to beat the San Francisco 49ers and get to the freaking Super Bowl. We're going to erase those in-breakers with his passing window.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Did you guys actually see Jack Campbell's presser?
No, he had one?
He had one as well. Him, Carlton Davis. I caught his a little bit.
I saw Carlton Davis's.
And he asked about what he thought of his rookie year, any regrets. He said, you can talk to my family, you can talk to my friends, you can talk to Laporta and the guys. My only regret is that last play of the 49ers game and how I didn't do my job. I was a liability, and like, I'll never be a liability again. Like, I can't believe I let my guys down. We got that freaking close. Never again.
The dude's a psychopath. The dude is literally a psychopath. I am so extremely excited to see what he does because, like you guys have been saying, he is the mold of everything you want a football player to be. He is giant. He's athletic. He doesn't listen to music before games. He just stares at the ground like a freak of nature. You need a little bit of crazy in you to play linebacker. He's got a lot of crazy. Like, I'm so excited to see this dude go to work.
The other piece of this too, like, again, where he's going to be able to eat. Well, not even just him being able to eat, but even get his hands on balls, pause. He's going to create opportunities for the Brian Branch of the world. The Fonte Milfano, which I'm excited to talk to you about too, Al. I don't know what you think is going on with him, but like the playmakers surrounded around him. And I know Carlton's not known for intercepting as much. I know that Ennis Rakeshaw is known as intercepting the ball as much, but I think you have the expectation of Terrion Arnold, obviously Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and I'll throw Iffy in that group too. Like if a guy like Jack Campbell could get his hand, just a tip, or just even affect the trajectory of like where a guy's trying to place the ball because he's got that 6'5" frame. It's going to continue to create a lot of opportunities. On top of the fact he has clear lanes to run through, making tackles in the backfield with DJ Reader. I wish the football season was here right now, man.
Everything we're doing is trying to tie the coverage to the pressure. It's the best way to create pressure right now is so we're running those. We're drafting guys that do press. We're disrupting the timing. We're not allowing quick passing. We're getting 6'4", 6'5" linebackers that are brass freaks of nature to disrupt those passing windows. Every single tenth of a second that an opposing quarterback has to think, hesitate, can lead to interceptions, can lead to sacks. And so it's all about creating more negative plays.
Yeah. I'm extremely excited. This new look defense next year to see it out there for sure. But we do got to go to break. We'll be right back with more Lions talk. But Nick, tell us about the morning show.
If you are waking up every morning and not immediately putting on Wake Up Woodward 8 to 10 a.m. live, you are doing it wrong. Make sure you wake up every single morning with Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every single morning as they cover all of Detroit sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
To just further expound on the Jack Campbell expectations somewhat, and it may sound crazy, but just to put it in perspective for some of you guys listening, this is the names I said during the break, and I'm not, maybe these are a little high, but just look at the body types of these guys, right? Fred Warner, Tremaine Edmonds. Like I think that's what Brad Holmes is trying to cook up there with the whole Jack Campbell situation. I think we might see him at least get as close as he will this year. But I was working all day. Spinny was working all day. You just told me something nasty about Fonte Melifonwu today in practice as well. What was some of the stuff you've been reading from OTAs? I missed a lot of it.
I was working all day, but I did crunch some information and observation. I'm glad the media finally was able to be there today. But
let's go.
Sounds like Goff did start off a little slow. Goff started 0 for 3, including a near interception by Fonte Melifonwu. Happy to see him there because Kirby and Branch didn't practice, so it was a rotation of C.J. Moore and Brandon Joseph next to him. But I fully expect Iffy to continue to make impact plays there. Some of the observations I saw, a lot of them from the Pride of Detroit guys, were Amik Robertson was playing more nickel, which I did not think would be the case. I will admit I was wrong that I thought he'd be more outside. I thought we valued what he did, towards the end of last year in his press man, but he played a little bit because Branch was gone, Rakestraw was out, Arnold was out. Maybe they just used that as an opportunity to cross-train him a little bit.
Yeah.
Sounds like Carlton Davis was the best performer of practice.
Yeah, what were they saying?
I just heard that he just didn't allow any completions. And again, like OTAs are for assignment, alignment, communication. We're just preparing to be more efficient in the dog days of late July and August. But it sounds like he was pretty freaking seamless jumping in on our defense. So that's always a good sign, right? We can't take too many things away from OTAs because it's not a competition, but he was our best performer.
I couldn't scream, of course, but in his presser, they asked like his role in this defense. What do you say? Shut shit down?
Yeah.
They're part of my French. But that's like today again. He's like, just shut shit down. That's what I do.
Dude, you got all the dogs back there. You saw how when Aaron Glenn got a couple guys that fit his scheme and fit his system in that defense last year, and now on top of that, you're adding all of these press man guys to make some things happen. I'm just extremely excited to see this defense work. And to see Aaron Glenn, like I said it before, like there's no excuses for Aaron Glenn this year. He's got his pieces. He's got his guys. The defense is set. Like it's put up or shut up this year for sure.
And speaking of the defense, sounds like because Pascal, Aleem, there's a lot of guys that were out. I can't remember if Kaminsky was out. I think James Houston was out. So Levi Onwuzurike got a lot of reps with the ones.
Wow.
And who's a guy who got praised as the best defensive line coach in his opinion in the league? Dan Campbell said that about Terrell Williams.
Again today.
He did. He said he called him the best D-line coach in the country, in the league. And think about that. Like, Levi's getting very valuable reps, at least just mental reps.
Yeah.
With the ones, and Brock Martin was getting some great mental reps. It sounds like he's very committed. Dan Campbell had good things to say about him. So they're getting a lot of one-on-one time with Terrell Williams.
Yeah, I heard that.
He's the best developer of players. He's just going to raise their floor and possibly reopen that ceiling for Levi in year 2. And I mean, Brock Martin, there is no ceiling. We don't know yet. Like, he is.
Yeah.
The fact that he resculpted his body, that's pretty cool. And
dude, it shows the commitment.
I know.
You say, like, beyond that,
he understands the assignment.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's more to be done.
I mean, because it was pretty cool because Dan Campbell kept talking about level 401. That was my favorite thing he said today. And that is the biggest thing with OTAs. Some teams are starting from scratch, he said. The fact that we have that continuity of, we have most of the staff intact.
Yeah.
This is year 4 with this regime. We are starting in a different place than most teams. I get it. The Bears had a sexy offseason. I get it. That's fine. But what do we have? You have Matt Eberflus still. We have Dan Campbell, same coaching staff, a lot of the same leaders. We have a bunch of guys that do the right thing, are prepared, and we're just going to have a better advantage in August. We're going to have a better advantage to start the year, and I just thought that was really cool because, I mean, it's
a head start.
Yeah, it's a head start.
It's. I mean, he put it perfectly, like, articulating it as like 401 versus like 101. The other thing I wanted to talk about, obviously, I do the Carlton Davis stuff. Go for it.
Go ahead. I was going to say, backup offensive line. I thought there were some telling things today.
What'd they say?
Mahogany, after working at right guard for most of rookie minicamp, he was at left guard with the 2s.
Okay.
I don't mind that one friggin' bit.
Yeah.
No.
Then Colby Sorsdale, remember his college position?
Left tackle.
He was right. Yeah, he was right tackle. He was there with the 2s and the 3s.
Okay.
Are
we? Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense.
6'3", 6. He's not the big. He's not a big.
I think he's 6'5".
But who are our backup tackles?
Connor Galvin was at left tackle for the second team offense. The Baylor kid.
Okay.
Who a few guys, Dane Brugler, I think had a 5th round grade on. He was one of the people who intrigued me the most on the practice squad last year. Glad we kept him around. He was left tackle 2. Gio Manu was left tackle 3. So just a lot of moving pieces. I feel like those are like maybe the 4 young guys on our offensive line that I'm just taking note of, especially if Connor Galvin, if he wants to go win a spot and be maybe our OT3, because Dan Skipper's a great 6 offensive lineman, great extra tight end. But if, God forbid, if we need to start someone, we've got Connor Galvin at left tackle, and maybe Colby Sorsdale's getting a little more action because maybe they're comfortable with Christian Mahogany. Maybe they're like, this guy may be able to fill in if
I know.
If Glasgow and Zeitler were there with the ones.
What about Manu? Has there been any?
He was left tackle 3.
Okay.
I think they're just being slow with him. That's why I thought it was interesting. Connor Galvin was left tackle 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wingo. Any notes from him today?
I did not see anything, but I'm sure more will develop, and we can talk about it next week.
What do you think of the Fontu Miller situation? If they're talking about moving Branch to safety, think it's like a rotation piece.
I don't know what to think because what did Dan Campbell just kept talking about? How we have options and we're tinkering the DB room, and it's just a big competition. I don't know what to think. I feel like we have 8 guys that we want to play 20, 30 to 60, 70 snaps. I don't know what we're doing with the DB room.
Yeah.
But I think we love what if he brings to the table. We think he'll be more improved in year 4.
Yeah.
I hate that he's got he's in a contract year.
Yeah.
I think he's our most impactful safety. And I think Brian Branch usually is better towards the closer to the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like those two playing together, and Kirby's obviously great. So I don't know what to make of what they're going to do with Branch and Iffy and Joseph, but I bet they'll get them on the field a lot, and I bet they'll make plays.
Yeah.
And then I guess one other thing before we get going, or if you want to stick around for mailbag, Ken and Hooker. So, some people are and I don't think these are actually conversations being had or rumors. You could correct me if I'm wrong. People are like deeming him as a trade piece. I don't see that in a run. I think that the guy you want backing up during a Super Bowl run. Are there actual rumors going around about that being a thing?
I think maybe it was mentioned just because I get it hypothetically. Jimmy Garoppolo, everything. I think the whole plan, and now with the Goff extension, we don't have to deal with Hendon Hooker, our quarterback in 20. I think the plan the whole time was they had a higher grade on him than a third-round grade. They were able to get him. Yeah. They understood the value of a backup quarterback. I mean, people forget 2 years ago in the NFC Championship game when the Niners were rudderless because of the injuries.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey taking snaps.
We were the team that saw that and went in owners' meetings, and we said
the rule.
We changed the rule because we're like, we don't want that to happen to us. We've got a 5-year plan. We got a 10-year plan. So I think they just realized that the third-round pick, if you take third-round pick on a quarterback and he ends up being a top 5 backup quarterback for you, that's perfect. Dan Campbell said today he can keep the offense afloat. We're not asking him to win games, but we're going to douse him with reps. I think Dan Campbell told us exactly what he thinks. I don't know about the trade. I think we value the backup quarterback, right?
Yeah,
I think
I would agree. I think he's a break glass in case of emergency kind of guy, and you need that. Like, look at fucking Nick Foles. Nick Foles went in there and won a Super Bowl because Carson Wentz had the injury, obviously, in an MVP caliber season. Then Nick Foles leads them through the playoffs. So
with the super stack squad as well.
God forbid, I don't want anything to happen to Goff, but you've got a competent guy. It's better than having
fingers.
It's better than David Blau or Tim Boyle being your backup option.
Nick, what are you about to say?
Yeah, I mean, Nick Foles had an extremely stacked squad around him, which Hendon Hooker would have in case he would ever have to take a snap in a significant game. So I was just right there with Spenny talking about Foles and
play caller and scheme that would provide an advantage, right?
Yeah.
If we put him in a position to succeed, we'd be able to adapt and adjust based. Yeah,
it's a complex scheme too. Like if you're gonna,
you want somebody who knows it pretty well.
Yes. Yeah. Why would you move on? All right, moving on. We'll come back. We'll be doing some mailbag, but not before someone. I think it's you,
Pete,
sir. Uncle Pete, tell us about the merch.
Shop.woodwardsports.com. 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 Get yourself the merch. Again, head to shop.woodwardsports.com. We'll be back, boys and girls.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
All right, everybody, it is glorious time. The new glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash pre-roll, now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best canna experience. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower with the only highest terps, making the best better. Glorious Cannabis. Check them out at your local retailer at gloriousconna.com. Back to the heavies.
What is it? The diamonds?
Diamonds.
Smash that like button if you guys haven't already in honor of what once was the Detroit Pistons, RIP, now the Detroit Tellums.
The Vancouver Pistons.
Vancouver Pistons. Smash the like button.
Dude, why'd you even have to say that shit?
Shoot it. No mas. All right, you said something about Matthew Betts. Running with the ones.
Running with the ones. There's no James Houston there, and he was running with the ones. We got a lot of experience, just mental reps for a lot of our guys that I think will make the back end of that 53. If he makes, I will feel more comfortable if we have him and Houston both on the roster playing Jack and letting Derek Barnes and Jack Campbell just concentrate on stand-up linebacker, right? Then maybe he gets 4.5 sacks like Spenny and I think.
No, I think it's going to happen. I mean, I'm not saying put all your money in one basket, but Matthew Betts is the basket to bet on. Give me Matthew Betts. Game changer, game breaker, Matthew Betts, leading the team in sacks.
Anything about Steele, the linebacker from Ohio State?
Oh, Chambers? No.
Yeah.
Steele Chambers?
Yeah.
No.
Sick-ass
didn't hear about him.
That is a dope
really
player.
any of the undrafted free agents since rookie minicamp, but he needs this. I mean, he was a running back 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, I guess now. But he definitely needs the alignment, assignment, communication down.
Yeah.
So we'll see more of him when we really, I almost wanted to wear my pajamas here. I knew Dan Campbell was gonna say something about underwear or pajama party. So I don't know about Steele. I didn't hear anything yet about the undrafted free agents. But I mean, as we know, last year we had to make some tough decisions. We had to make. I mean, both Starling Thomas and Trevor Nowowski, the linebacker, both are probably
Saginaw's own.
going to start or at least have significant snaps for the Arizona Cardinals defense when we play them week 3. Like we are starting to be such a good team that we're cutting guys or trying to sneak them on our practice squad that end up playing significant snaps on other teams.
Yeah,
it's just a weird world that used to be us. We used to be garbage disposal, right?
Yeah. I guess the Betts thing does make sense if you're looking for like a plug and play situation. He's kind of undersized the same way Houston is.
Don't hop on the Matthew Betts train now.
I'm not.
It's already left the station.
And age-wise, he's mature. It's not like we picked up a 7th rounder who's still has to grow into his big boy grown man muscles. Like he's played in professional league for 3 years. Like MVP? He gets it. Yeah.
Is he quick off the line? Did you go
Yeah,
back
his
and look
first-
at any of his rats?
Yeah, I think you and I talked about his tape. What we could get from the CFL.
Yeah,
It's
the little
harder.
bit we could see. Yeah.
But yeah, it's that first step. But then you're judging the first step against CFL offensive tackles. So we'll see if we don't know because it's a lot different. The CFL offensive tackles are a little slower.
You know who helped coach Cameron Wake? Route Williams.
That's such a good draft.
Just saying.
Someone said
saying.
CFL
pipeline.
God damn it, you drilled that, Spenny. That's awesome.
I didn't catch the last 5 minutes of the AG presser, but someone said that he also said some things about Terrell Williams. Did you?
Oh, I did not catch that. No,
I just saw it in like a quote, or whatever.
Or maybe I misread some. I mean, maybe it was Campbell or Glenn. Maybe I misread it.
I probably, I probably misread it. It probably was because Campbell was the one who did literally say something. We have AG. If you want to put your headphones back on this one, speaking about the draft class in itself, I just confirming some of the stuff we've already felt. I guess we do only have 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Fuck it, those. I just want to get everybody hyped real quick. You guys are allowed to be excited about this draft class,
right?
Yes, sir.
That we draft good players. I'm excited. So those 2 guys that we drafted, I'm just talking about the corner because I'm sure that's what you're talking about. Those 2 guys are going to help us be able to play defense in an aggressive manner. So, I did enjoy it.
And then there's other pieces of him talking about the style of defense, but he's going to finally be able to call that type of defense.
Ready?
Yeah.
Man, it's smothering when it comes to defense.
Smothering.
That's who I am as a coach. I like to smother the offense. I like to get after the offense. So, listen, I'm not sitting here saying that we're going to blitz every time. It's just a part of what we do, and it's a part of my personality. And then also it's a part of the guys that we have.
Smother them.
Yeah, man. Oh, man.
I'm excited. Defense is going to be fun to watch this year.
Finally, dude.
About time.
I actually believe in it, too.
About time.
I mean, I kind of believed in it last year, but this year I actually believe in it. Like, it's more than like just us locally or, like, having that stuff to say. Like, it's nationally renowned. Like, DJ Reader's obviously a great guy. I'm talking about great player. I'm sure he's a great guy, too. But
yeah, seems like a great guy. But
I'm excited.
That'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights. Appreciate you, Al, for joining us as always. For Eazy, for Nick, for Al,
Pistons.
for Unky Skeet, RIP Pistons. I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
What is the price?